static tripod to... That's what I'm saying, is I got confused, because using the static tripod to move and the moving tripod to static.
It's just... I to use my tripod, then I forgot that my tripod is out on rental right now.
Hey guys, welcome to the Not So Round Table.
New Year's.
It's New Year's Eve.
Well,
when we're filming this.
We're filming it on New Year's.
Boom.
It's going up. It's been a good year. Matt hasn't seen our wonderful rewind video.
Should I be afraid?
No, you should not be afraid. It's all good.
Be very afraid.
It's been a good year.
It has.
Legitimately for both personal and airsoft wise, company wise, I think it's been a great year. There's been so many events, quality events. So much good stuff, so much new stuff coming into the market.
And 2016 is just gonna be better.
Yeah, it's just getting bigger and bigger. It's legitimately getting to be a huge size.
Exciting things are coming down the pipeline. Exciting things.
So January, we got some stuff coming up. We're looking forward to SHOT Show 2016.
2016. This will be the fourth or fifth year that we've gone together.
I've been going to SHOT Show for far too long.
No,
and
together.
Together.
This is our fourth year together?
Yeah.
Fifth year together?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So
we're going to have to do it big.
We're looking forward to that. We'll be at our booth a little bit. We'll also be filming around, checking out all the new stuff. We'll be posting onto our Facebook feed and Instagram feed as much of the content that we're going to later deliver.
Yeah, and I'm going to be more on top of posting to my Instagram this year.
He's going to be... I'm going to reminding him everywhere we go, basically, if you don't follow the Evike.com Instagram or the Evike Matt Instagram, you definitely should. Make sure you follow our Facebook page. All that's going to have all the information for SHOT Show, which is coming up in just a few weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna be changing things up a little bit in 2016, really hitting the social media, making sure you guys are informed of everything that's happening here at the company.
I know that everybody likes us to do videos as fast as possible, but we have a booth, we have meetings, and we have marketing, all the same kind of category. It's really hard to do all those things, so we will definitely be delivering video content the week after for, more information, but we'll definitely be doing
and it'll be the same kind of in-depth information that you guys are used to seeing from us, so...
We're hoping that there's a lot of new stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you betcha.
Don't you know? Where's Brian?
Okay, so then, Not So Round Table. You guys know how it works. Questions submitted in previous videos get inserted into the insert helm of reasoning. That's good. George, you want to start us off?
We should come up with a, anyway. John Sparks asked...
By the way, if you haven't gotten an insert patch yet, you're wrong. Just get one. They're cool. Sorry, shameless plug.
Yeah, I was already... why am I holding a marker? Oh, shameless plugs. What, you at Starbucks?
Yeah, well, they don't sponsor me, so they're not getting the plug.
Red Bull doesn't sponsor me either.
I mean, we sell them. Okay.
Dear Insert, what sunglasses do you regularly use? Yeah, I know, my beanie makes me look just... My hair is really bad, that's why I'm wearing a beanie. And my wife got
the
me
D-bag is strong with you.
my wife got me this beanie for Christmas.
By the way, awesome Arsenal beanie.
I know, right?
You were also telling me you got an Arsenal scarf?
Yeah.
Dude.
It was like a full Arsenal Christmas from my wife.
Seriously?
It was really cool. I think she got bored of buying me Red Wing stuff. Because I got Red Wing stuff every year.
True.
So it's just, Anyway, what do you use? You use the Holbrooks.
So these are the Oakley Holbrooks, specifically the Sean White edition. I like them because they're polarized, and the polarization's really, really nice. Very comfortable glasses. They're a modern take on the tired old Wayfarer design, so I really like how these look. Ryan got a pair of these at our banquet, so he really likes them. He got the ones with the yellow tinting. The one thing I will say, though, is that I wish the lenses were a little bit more scratch resistant.
That's just the problem that I think is with all all sunglasses,
right.
And that's sunglasses I use. I use the SI version of the flak jackets. The reason I like the SI version is it's matte black versus the gloss,
and that's
and
why
also what's good is the Oakley logo isn't in the front, which it usually fades.
Oh.
My other two pairs have faded over time, several years down the line. But what's nice is that they have that. The lenses are the polarized prism lenses.
Oh.
Love these lenses. I
Question,
had to order them.
Can you replace the lenses in yours?
You just pop them out. So these are actually getting a little bit scratched. I'm probably going to order another set for next year. So I have other lenses, for other things, like if I used to drive in the rain. I had some really good lenses for that.
I don't think I can replace the lenses on the Holbrooks.
You can, but I wouldn't recommend it. Like it's not literally.
That was really fast.
Yeah. So I've been using these sunglasses, this style of sunglass for probably almost a decade. I was in college when I bought my first pair of these.
They look good on you, man.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, right?
Yep.
Looking good. So definitely check these out. We do sell these on our website, just not the same lenses. We sell the prism lenses, but they're not polarized.
We've also got Randolph glasses as well, right? Randolph, is that what it's called?
I think so.
The other
I'm
sunglasses?
not sure.
Anyway, Noah Derrick asks, what are your guys' thoughts on airsoft sniping? Do you like, would you suggest it at big, do you like, do you like, period. Would you suggest it at big events or a fun thing to do at local fields? Keep up the good work, and you guys are amazing. That's thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I be honest?
Yes, please do. That's what this show's all about, honesty.
I'm going to be perfectly honest here, and some people might disagree.
Bullwinkle, allow me to be frank. Okay, Frank, but allow me to be Bullwinkle.
I personally don't think that airsoft sniping is fun. I just think it, because AEGs shoot so far, having that little bump of FPS on a single shot isn't giving you that much of a range advantage or accuracy advantage for that matter. I think it's just the role-playing aspect that's
right.
The only aspect that's fun about it. So it's just a really challenging thing to do, and I personally don't enjoy it because it requires a lot of patience, a lot of sneaking around. So I never really got into it. I know some people that have tried it and also had similar views. But I know some people who've tried it with a good success,
right.
but don't normally do it because it's really, really time-consuming and Jet tried it in that one video that he
right.
did. He did genuinely try it. So if you want to try it, the problem is like everybody wants to try it because of video games.
I've got to agree there. I've seen a couple of more recent YouTube videos, especially from...
that one guy. One guy has really good sniping videos.
You can be very effective as a sniper if you're willing to devote the amount of patience that it requires, and you touched on that. It requires an extreme amount of patience, especially if you're doing like a pickup game at a CQB field. I don't really feel like you're going to have as much of an effect on the gameplay as you would in maybe a milsim aspect. For me, snipers are a great element of a larger team if you're playing the role of a recon or scout element. And by that I mean if you've got a radio and you and a spotter can go out ahead of the rest of the group and make sure that there's nobody approaching or provide some overwatch, or if you do have a sniper platform that extends the range past your standard AEG length, then yeah, snipers are great. Just know that you're going to be limited in terms of your ammunition and the speed at which you're going to be able to lay down fire. So given the fact that you won't be able to hit rapid fire very quickly, your accuracy needs to be on point. Your scopes need to be zeroed, at a known distance so that you're more effective than just kind of hanging out and plinking at people. Yep.
That's a really good answer. I mean, and you have a really good sniper rifle, too.
Which I've never used.
Yeah, I've seen people use your sniper rifle. I've never seen you use it, but I know that shoots pretty far.
VSR 10s, bruh.
Yeah. That was a good question, though, and I think people will be happy that we answered it truthfully.
Yeah.
Alec Matthews asked, Dear Insert, who started Evike?
Evike.
His name is Evike.
Evike started Evike. Boom.
And it's pronounced Evike, not Evike, not Evike.
Or Evike.
Or Evike. Jet. There's only one person I know who calls him that.
He's not here to defend himself.
He hasn't been on. He hasn't been on. I realized we were like watching a bunch of inserts.
He hasn't been on.
He hasn't been on a while. I don't think he likes us anymore.
I think we just need to ask him to come down. Jason McDonough asks, "Hello, Insert. I'm a new Airsofter, and I'm looking for any new tips, good gear, and anything else I should know. Thanks." That's a pretty broad question, Jason.
It's a question we get asked a lot.
It is, and it's been a while since I think we answered something like this. So for a new Airsofter, looking for any tips, good gear, anything else I should know. Let's concentrate on so for a new Airsofter.
How about you tackle the guns? I'll tackle the gear.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So what I'll start out. I'll kind of help lead you a little bit.
Okay.
So I get this question a lot. People are like, oh, I want to buy this, for example. So people say, I want to buy this. What pistol do you recommend? Like, they kind of feel like they have to buy everything.
Right.
Wouldn't you agree that you don't have to buy everything, especially as a beginner? You want to start out simple.
Right.
So,
Well, okay. So I'll hit that as part of the guns. But
Yeah.
in terms of gear,
sorry, I'll go first then. I'll start with the gear. So keep with something that is very lightweight and simple and affordable. You know, go out and get, like, I honestly, if I was recommending, if somebody came in the store and said, hey, I'm a new Airsofter, I'd be like, get a chest rig, probably like a Condor MCR4 or one of those MC series that has the different options. You have different options. They're just simple, they're cheap, they're well built, they'll last you as long as you want to use it for, and it solves all the problem. Don't focus on getting a vest right away. Don't, like, you could get a cross-draw vest that has a lot of pockets and stuff, but definitely would recommend for modularity to get like an MCR4. Stick to cheap, simple BDUs. Go to your surplus store if you need to look for stuff that's used, or if you want, you could find like some proppers or a few other things like Woodlands or DCU that works really well in all environments for you. And then good set of eyewear that doesn't fog. Like, don't cheap out on your eyewear. Get good face protection. Maybe buy a helmet and some gloves and a sling, at least a 1-point bungee sling, and if you need to, a belt for your pants, and quality footwear. At least some high top zip up boots.
Yes.
Minimum. Like the jungle boots work pretty good if you want to go cheap. You just have to get new insoles for them. But that's
insoles are a great addition every boot.
But you can pick up a pair of jungle boots for like $20.
Yep.
So I mean, like, if you had to go cheap, just spend an extra $10, get some good inserts, and you'll be happy.
So something that George touched on that I think applies even more to the gun side of Airsoft is expandability. And you didn't say that word, but that's kind of what I felt like you were hinting at.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Airsoft, much like many other technical hobbies like RC cars or helicopters or anything else where you have the opportunity to build something yourself, is you have a lot of options in terms of expandability. Now, as a new Airsofter, especially if you're in your first year or two of playing Airsoft, you're going to play, and over time you'll find things that you like and don't like about Airsoft guns and platforms, and maybe the sizes of things that you like will change. And so as a beginning Airsofter, I always suggest someone not to spend their entire savings or budget on maybe the best Airsoft gun they can buy, because your style may change in your first couple years of playing. For all intents and purposes, most Airsoft guns shoot about the same way. So whether you decide to go with an MP5 or a P90 or a G36 or an M4 or an AK variant, they're all going to shoot BBs, and they all have barrels, and they all have customizability to them. So in your first, if you're starting out, I suggest buying something that's within your budget that gives you the ability to expand and adapt and maybe change things around as you find that you like or don't like certain elements of your Airsoft gun. And part of that ties into your rig as well, making sure that you have mag pouches that are compatible with a variety of guns, just in case you do decide to change. And especially when you're getting into either AEGs or you decide to go gas, or even if you wanted to start out with a sidearm as opposed to a full-sized rifle, you have the ability then to expand and to change things as you become more comfortable with airsofting, as you develop a style of your own, or as you figure out that you like a certain play style, over the others. Whether you decide CQB is your thing, or Speedsoft is your thing, or Milsim is your thing, your focus will change, and if you don't spend all your money all at once, then you've got the ability to change things later on.
That is a great answer.
From both of us. Nice job.
Oh, we didn't really. All right, there we go.
Teamwork.
Do we need to restart the cameras?
No.
All right, never mind.
Okay.
I'm going to pick one from the bottom here. Okay. How was your holiday, by the way?
It's good.
Good.
Mm-hmm. It was, relaxing. I get to hang out and, sit around.
Peter Thoft asks, Dear Insert, have you had any success in-game using undermounted grenade launchers? Or do you think that it would be better off to standalone pistol grip one, or just using grenades?
Okay.
So
like a handheld, you shouldn't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not very safe. and you might hurt somebody and all
Right.
that. So let's tackle the question: a standalone or an undermounted grenade launchers, and we'll play both sides of the equation: football side
Okay.
and the
mass
Yeah.
cloud.
I'll tackle the football side. It's
Okay.
so simple because I know a lot about it.
Okay.
I had a undermounted, barrel mounted, using the Mark 18 rail from Manual Defense, that you can undermount to the barrel an M203, and used it for 2 years. It was awesome, being able to have a football ready to shoot down vehicles in milsim games was a great asset. Buying the right shells and buying the footballs and buying the correct gas and all that is quite pricey. It can add up. It's almost like having another AEG to worry about.
Right.
So, can be very satisfying and very fun. We messed with the standalone one that we keep in the Humvee, using similar shells and shooting footballs at vehicles, which you use as well. They work. Both of them work similarly, and it's one of those the B&T launcher.
Okay.
Now, I've also used it in the other way of using it as a standalone with a spray at Old
It's a big shotgun.
at Old Desert Fox in
Rancho, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
used it there. This was before the pocket cannon came out. The pocket cannon is pretty cool because
It's a pistol for shot. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, what would you think about that practicality? I'd say that when using it as I think it's actually better to have it as a standalone. Almost sometimes,
Okay.
because you can keep it as like a secondary if you want, or
Okay.
just like a fun gun type of thing.
Well, the advantage of having like the shotgun blast, like the large volume, 60 to 220 BBs all at once, is it really kind of takes the aiming out of the equation. So the more rounds you can send down range, the higher likelihood that you will hit something or someone, and that's good, especially if you're in a very, very high, fast-paced environment when you need to get rounds out quickly. With that said, the amount of time that it can take to transition from a primary to a secondary could mean the difference between nailing somebody and getting nailed yourself. So the advantage to using an underslung design is
Didn't think about
there's
that.
there's no delay between having to switch. To switch platforms. So whether you're using it for a football or you're using it as a shotgun blast, you're already sighting in with your barrel. You're already up and ready to engage an opponent. And that's an advantage, especially when you're dealing with really fast-paced shooting, like if you're doing CQB stuff, having that shortness of time between, firing with your primary and then firing with this backup system is a definite advantage. Given that, you also have to remember, though, that you only have one shot. And if that one shot is all you got, having an undermounted like 203 launcher means that you've got to put your weapon down, crack it open, swap shells, put it back together. Whereas if you're using it as a last-ditch effort kind of thing, you can pull it up, shoot it, and go right back to your primary. There are pros and cons to both. I think both have definite uses. But if you're going with purely a 40 millimeter launcher, I would go with the 6-shooter every time.
You did remind me of something. I once went to Big Boy Sunday at the Old Tax City with a standalone single shot launcher. I had 6 shells for it.
And
and on it, that was a lot of fun. Very challenging on Big Boy Sunday because you miss.
Oh, yeah.
You're competing against guys, like everybody's shooting really fast and like that. So it was fun, but you paid for mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
You had to have your timing down and everything like that. But overall, I think it's just kind of personal taste. The thing is, they're very heavy once you put it on in front of an M4.
Right.
It is incredibly heavy, especially with that Mark 18 rail underslung on that. Plus, it was a hefty gun.
Even the ones for the scars, they're a polymer design, but
Yeah.
they do add weight. And you got to take that into consideration.
Exactly. But it was a very good question. Very good question.
I'm just going to pull the same question you pulled.
Why? You could have shuffled it. Not my fault.
Dylan Hollywood Miemietz. Man, I'm sorry if I butchered your last name. Dear Insert, how would you guys feel about if someone made an Airsoft Bow? Thanks, Hollywood MN.
Don't they make, I know they make was right after Hunger Games came out, they had that game where you could shoot each other with like it was with a regular bow,
right?
And then it was the
It had a
rounds
big
had like a
marshmallow
big,
on the end.
yeah. Why don't you just do that?
Well, I mean, we kind of touched on. There was a previous episode of NSRT when we talked about how an airsoft bow would work using like an inner barrel, and I know I nerded out for a second about how I would do it and things. And there were a couple comments in that video about some existing systems that had been done, or people that had modified their own bow / inner barrel situations. And again, unless you have some sort of hopper and some way to stop the BB, you're literally loading one BB at a time, and that's time consuming and trying to go around a corner with a big bow. I don't really see a place for it in current airsoft. But if you can find a way to make it work, send me a picture. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, that's a good answer. How much time do we have? Colton Apete asks, "Hey, insert. Do you think that plate carriers are overpowered in the CQB environment?" Kind of confused by the question. I'm sure what he refers to. Does that mean that, like, if they have a plate carrier and you hit them in the plate carrier, they're not dead?
No.
Maybe that, like, you don't get hit so you don't feel it?
I think that's kind of where he's coming from. Because I've been in situations before, because I used to run for CQB a Cyrus vest. Cirrus, whatever it is. The big ol', like, 15 pounds on its own.
Yeah.
And there were times that, because it's so thick and because you've got so much extra fabric...
You couldn't.
There were times that I wouldn't feel it, and you really have to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I was guilty of not calling my hits. I think that's kind of where he's coming from. Going with such a large vest and maybe not feeling the hits versus somebody who's wearing just chest rig, who's going to feel more of the hits or be more attentive because there's less weight and things moving around.
Well, a trick that I like to do when it comes to... I've learned that it's solved the problem a lot with playing against players who don't feel hits with their vests. And what it is it's basically when you're shooting, you're kind of, you can be kind of, if you're really angry, you can aim at the center mass and go up, or you can do what I did and you go center mass and go down.
Oh.
Now, no, it sounds horrible. It does. But the majority of the problems I was having with people not calling it is when they were running away or running away from me. And
when they're moving.
So they have like a plate carrier, they have a pack on there like that. So you'd shoot them in that and they wouldn't know. Like, at least in the front, they could see the BBs kind of bouncing off them. There's not usually a lot of issues with direct contact front and front. However, when people were running to that, so basically I would just go down and just light their butt up and their legs, and then they would usually call it. And also, I mean, if you go down the other way, obviously I don't know, maybe it's better to go for the face. I know you're cringing at the thought, but like, I didn't want to go up,
right?
And because maybe somebody doesn't want to get neck shot or whatever, and then you get like that reputation. It's almost like, for example, I would say that a player would be more. I get more people angry if I went center mass up, because then I'd be headhunting. Versus center mass and going down, like, yeah, obviously if I hit him in a specific spot, he might be upset. But if it hits him in the thigh or it hits him in the gut,
right?
It's
oh man, gut shots.
Yeah, you don't even have that much fat, dude. Like I have fat, like so when you have a plate carrier, you have that little area right here. Oh man, that hurts.
So the cool thing about like hollow imitation plates is they've got that air gap. So when BBs bounce off them, you can kind of hear them go pop, pop, pop. And that's kind of cool. So if someone's got hollow plates, that makes a sound. And that makes
Which the majority of the airsoft community does. There are very few people who run their actual plate carrier or training plates like I do.
Yeah.
Because I'm stupid.
Because you like giving yourself a physical challenge.
Yeah, no, like there's nothing.
That immersion, bro.
Yeah, it's not even that. It's I did it because it was challenging. And then there's nothing like seeing someone's face when you like take off your plate carrier and you slam it down on those plastic tables. They're like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Everything."
Everything. Crazy eyes. Well, I can tell you what I do personally. I always fire a warning shot, center mass, and then I'll aim for your soft tissue, and it's usually your neck. Sorry. It's just easier to go center mass up than it is to drop down below the waist. It's a shorter distance.
It is a shorter distance, but if you're going for the pocket here and you go down, the advantage to going down, I see it, is you have a lot more meat here than up here.
That's true.
It's okay, man.
Yeah, I don't usually aim for the 10 ring. I usually aim like just above. So I'll like go here and then here.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is no. You're aiming at the 10 ring, which is about where you're saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, for example, when you shoot real guns, if you're doing any type of, most instructors will. There's 3 vital regions. There's head,
Right.
10 ring, and then there's the gut, the groin area. That's a lethal area to. It's like some people get trained when they're training for real gun shooting. Is head is obviously, but like always trying to go for this.
Right.
But sometimes this isn't always available.
Right.
So that's an option as well. So anyway, I don't know if this, but I just going at it from that point of view.
No, that's good. I mean, maybe I should be going the opposite direction.
I don't know. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. Maybe one more question.
Okay.
Roger, we get one. Roger. Roger's like, come on, Roger.
Can we do one more question, Roger?
Roger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not editing this, so.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're editing or not. Like, I mean, we're at 27 minutes.
This is a really short question. Elliot Ruoff, dear insert Roger and guest, were any of you in the Boy Scouts?
Yes.
Yes.
Really? I was in the Cub Scouts.
Oh yeah, no, I was in Cub Scouts. I was in Boy Scouts as well.
Oh.
So where you stopped at Cub Scouts.
Yeah.
So
That was it.
you never got the brown shirt. You had the blue shirt, navy shirt.
No, what? No, like Cub Scouts were orange. We wore orange.
Orange.
Like we had like orange hats.
That's like your first year.
Yeah, that was it. I only did it for a year.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't go very far. I stopped when I got when I switched schools in elementary school. I stopped.
Like I got far enough in Cub Scouts to do the little like downhill like Pinewood
Derby?
racing. Yeah, Pinewood Derby. That was it. I was like, okay, I've had enough.
Roger, how far did you go?
About same. We kind of stopped shortly after joining. Just school.
Really?
School became the focus.
Wasn't Ryan in?
School wasn't the focus. It was more I was going from 3rd grade to 4th grade. I was moving schools.
Oh.
So during that time, I just decided that I wouldn't be one of my other schools. So I just like didn't want to keep doing it with new
I wanted to
people.
do Taekwondo, so
Yeah,
I convinced my parents to let me kick
Did you?
people.
Yeah, actually, now this brings up a point. Did you ever do Taekwondo?
Yes.
I think every kid.
Well,
Every kid's done
I
karate or
was forced
Taekwondo
to.
at least.
Yeah.
Forced to?
Yeah.
What else? What other?
oh,
Everybody's
how
done,
sad for you that you were
everybody's
forced to
been-
learn a martial art.
Everybody's
That's so sad.
Everybody was forced to join AYSO.
Oh yeah, but I love.
I love soccer. I stopped playing soccer when I started playing hockey, and I regretted that. Like now I regret it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like it so much at AYSO level, but when I got older
To club levels?
like it would have been so much better to just be able to play in high school at soccer and stuff like that. So I would have maintained it. It would have been so much more fun than just focusing on hockey.
Yep.
And I also got lazy in hockey. Like I started out really well, and then I got like really lazy. Never like did any summer training or anything like that. So that was really bad.
How do you do summer training for hockey? Just rollerblades?
Run? No, there's lots of running.
Oh.
I mean, you can go to ice rinks are open year round, Matt.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just saying, but like if you don't like in your off season, if you're not trying to get faster, you're not trying to get bigger, you're not trying to get stronger. Like,
Right.
I was just so like all the players I was playing with when I was growing up, who I played with even in high school, they were better than me. Most of them were better than me, and I like was at their level in Pee-wees, but I got lazy.
Gotcha.
Like so.
So by the time summer was
we
over,
were
they
like
were already-
even in
Yeah.
Pee-wees, and then in high school they were like progressing, and I was just like, I'm just gonna spend the summer doing this, like never doing anything.
Gotcha.
So I think that was a hindrance because like some people have natural abilities at sports. I had a pretty good natural ability at hockey, but never really was able to capitalize on it.
I think, well, since Ryan's editing this, Ryan, maybe you could put in, I think you were in Boy Scouts, right? Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know. He's got, like, because, he's got, like, all of his, like, stuff in his pockets. Like, he's got, like, a flashlight and a multi-tool and then a backup multi-tool and then a backup flashlight and then a backup fire starter.
And a knife.
And a knife. He's just like the $6 million man of pockets. But I don't think he was, no, he wasn't in the Boy
But
Scouts.
he looks like a Boy Scout.
He just grew up in a survivalist colony.
He's so gonna let you have it for this one.
Like his parents just made him live in the backyard, and they didn't give him a tent. They were like, all of the trees that are dying, you can cut down and make a shelter. Otherwise, you will die here. Yeah, and every once in a while they'd throw like a steak out, and he'd have to like figure out how to eat. He was on a raw meat diet growing up.
Oh my god.
Ryan. And then he discovered Airsoft.
And now he's discovered whatever else that Ryan discovers.
Man, this is gonna be bad. I'm sorry, Ryan. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining us at the Not So Round Table. Our New Year, well, our
Yep.
New Year's
New Year's.
Eve
We, got our,
filming
we see we have
time.
our SB199 compliant rifle.
Yeah. We're looking forward to 2016. I hope you guys are. A lot of really exciting stuff coming. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next year.
It'll be the new year when